It always takes a second for it to actually do the connection piece. So
no worries.
hello and welcome to Canada Reads American Style. I'm Shauna.
And I'm Rebecca. And we have a special program today, or this evening. As you can see, my Christmas lights are all lit up in the back. We decided to do a live program today because we have two special guests from We Are Beautiful Words Book Club, and they have an Instagram page, and they have a new business opportunity that they're really excited about that I sort of discovered when they promoted it, and I jumped right on board, and I'm going to let them kind of talk about it. But I guarantee you this is going to be something that if you have a book club, if you're a reader, you are going to want to hear all about this. So I'd like to welcome Deanna and Kate joining us today.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. We're excited to be here.
Yeah, we're going to jump right into our questions. And first, we're just going to ask, what is We Are Beautiful Words Book Club?
Deanna, do you want to take that, or do you want me to?
Sure. Oh, yeah, I wasn't sure.
Okay.
Beautiful Words Book Club started about 2.5 years ago. We're a group of 5 colleagues that work together a lot for the last about 4 years. And so we work as instructional coaches in our job. So we work to help promote literacy in high school. And we all are readers. So all of us love to read. And then we realize, why don't we have a book club? We love reading. Let's talk about books more. And let's kind of dive deep, because we are a little bit nerdy about it. So we thought we could form a book club that would actually go deeper into the books that we're reading. And so we started out, every couple of months doing a book. And then slowly, as time went on, we tried to do it monthly. So we really enjoyed having that time. And for me, I felt like teaching sort of sometimes took away from just reading for pleasure. You're reading for work, you're busy all the time. And so I kind of needed a deadline, having a deadline. Okay, this month I'm reading a book, we had to have a deadline. Now I'm reading more than I have in a while, and it feels really good to be able to do that. And so it kind of evolved from there. And every month we all pick a different book. So we get choice, everyone has a turn, and the person that picks the book is the one that hosts the book club. And usually we'll try to incorporate some, themed food or some wine, and have a great evening of it, and just really relax as friends.
Okay, so something that happens with us at work, because Shauna and I work together, we try to save things for the podcast, but we end up, okay, I am the one that usually does it. I want to talk about the book right in that moment. So if you all work together, is there an issue where you want to talk about it when you see each other at work? And how do you avoid that?
Definitely. That's one of the things but we made a pretty strict rule that was not, we weren't allowed to talk about the book. And it was funny that we would sort of police each other if we heard anybody kind of mention something, or, somebody would say, oh, are you at like the scene yet? And you would kind of know like who was where in the book and that kind of thing. So we definitely try not to talk too much about it, because we wanted to save all of the exciting things to talk about for book club. So
the age-old question or not question, but the age-old, what happens at book club stays at book club.
I know. And I have to say, Shauna is always the one who has to listen to me, because I can't not talk about it. And honestly, I'm the boss too. So I feel like I have some leeway to just discuss what I want.
Well, and she also starts the books before I do. I wait until we get closer to when we're actually going to do stuff. Although the last couple of books, I've beaten her to them. So I'm just kind of like, I'm biding my time.
Yeah. You have more patience than I do, Shauna, that's for sure. Now, because it's the people you work together, is there any idea that you would expand your group, or do you really just like that core group from, working together, et cetera? Will it stay that way?
I think so. We as we said, we're colleagues, but we're friends first. And I think that's kind of the best part about it, is that we really have enjoyed this time together. As Deanna said, we're nerdy. We love reading. We love talking about books, and we love just being able to unwind and relax and kind of let all of the work stuff go and get to be able to hang out together. And so that's kind of been one of the things where we want to keep it like this, because there have been moments where we're like, oh, should we invite another, people are like, oh, could I be part of your book club? But we sort of feel like down the road, potentially, we might open something up online through our Instagram account or something like that. But at this point, it's just going to be the 5 of us. So
yeah. Now, as far as the type, when you pick your books, so because I had a book club when I was in California, and what we would do is whoever's turn it was would present about 4 different titles, and then we would vote on which one to read. So do you do it that way, or you literally one person comes with this book that everyone has to read?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not a democracy.
It's not a democracy.
Okay.
However, there is a lot of pressure, and Kate and I are the bad ones to not know, is this book going to be okay? Is everyone going to like it? So there is that pressure when you do choose, you want people to like your book. So sometimes we take a long time and wait till the last minute to make a decision.
Yeah. Now, the other question then is, do you all like the same type of story or genre? Or let's say, for example, somebody really loved Westerns and nobody else liked Westerns. I mean, would you still all go along with whatever the choice is?
I'd say for the most part, like, we do a lot of literary fiction. I think historical fiction's fairly loved by the group. There's definitely differences in what we do like, but I think we try to find the ones in the middle, like maybe not on our extremes of our likes, but somewhere we know we kind of all have something in common.
Yeah.
We all tend to gravitate typically towards strong female protagonists, sometimes like Canadian literature, that kind of thing. So as Deanna said, we don't really pick our extreme books per se. We try and find ones that we think we can meet in the middle and everybody will enjoy.
So
wow,
I don't know.
That's so different than what we do, because I feel like I read a lot of things that I don't typically read.
Yeah. Poor Shauna reads a lot of what she doesn't want to read. I do feel bad about it, but not that bad, apparently, because I make you do it. So it's all good. But now this question, I don't know if you can answer this question. So if you have to pass, I understand that. But could you both mention, of the books that you've read for the book club this year, what was your favorite so far this year? And what one did you say, oh, I wasn't that crazy about it? Can you both give those examples?
I think Kate and I would probably agree on our favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. We really love Circe by Madeline Miller. I don't know if you've read that one, but it's a great Greek mythology. And it's really well rooted in the history and the mythology. So it's a very strong feminist protagonist, right? So yeah, it was a great book. We loved it.
Yeah. And the writing was gorgeous. Our name, Beautiful Words, for our book club is named after the fact that we just love beautiful words in literature. So that's one of the things that we often spend a lot of time discussing, pulling out lines and quotes to kind of make sure that everybody else heard them and get a second chance to talk about them when we get together. So her book is so beautifully written. It was definitely a favorite from this year.
And what about, was there one that you just sort of went, I'm not that crazy about it? It was okay.
I would say the one that we didn't like was, we also try to bring in a beach read a couple of times a year, just to, for the summer months, or even over Christmas, we'll sometimes try to do a light read, just because people are busy with the holidays and you might not have as much time to commit to maybe a longer, heavier book. So the one that we probably disliked the most was 28 Summers. And it was a beach book, but we kind of found that the affairs that took place in the book troubling at the premise. And so that was kind of our stinker, I think, in terms of books that we didn't really enjoy.
Yeah, it wasn't just the affair per se, but it was just the way it played out. Like, it really felt like there could have been an out for the couple to change the direction. So it kind of bothered us, the trajectory of the relationship a little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And so now I want to go back because I didn't think to ask this, but when you mentioned it, now I'm curious. So how did you arrive literally at the name of your book club? And especially it's your Bookstagram account as well. So was it like, did you all work together to come up with that name, or did somebody, how did that happen?
Yeah, we did work together on it. We were trying to come up with a name, and we landed on beautiful words. Just like Kate said, it's related to the quotes. We love pulling out beautiful language, and we tend to flag our books with Post-its or little stickies. And we're always flagging the beautiful lines that we read, and we read them to each other out loud, and everyone, oh, I had that one too. And so it's just one of those things that I think it kind of fit. And we just decided with beautiful words because of that.
And we also like the play on the idea of like the conversation piece, right? With the words too, and having it so with the piece about the writing and the piece about the being together and talking together. So kind of had that double meaning for us.
Okay, can Shauna and I just steal that? So like on our podcast, can we talk about beautiful words too and give you guys credit for that? Because it's so funny because I got a little journal as a gift, and I couldn't figure out what to do with it. And I said, I don't know, Shauna, if I even told you this, but I've decided that all my favorite quotes and books, I'm going to put it in my little diary and write it out by hand, just to kind of make it maybe commit a little more to memory if I write it out. So I think that's really beautiful. So, all right. So the book group has been together for a couple of years, but how did you decide to join Bookstagram? Like what, because it hasn't been that long that you've been on, I think.
No, actually, we started. You were one of the first people that we started following. We had only started in early July, and it was one of those things where I was looking at your account, and it was because Canada Reads had moved to the summer this year because of COVID, and so we started in early July, and it kind of came as a result of us. We had been using the bookmarks for a while for our own book club, and so we kind of in the summer started thinking, you know what, maybe we should do something with this. Like, we love our book club, and we wanted to start thinking about ways that we could share it with others. And so Bookstagram or Instagram kind of became our next place that we sort of tackled and wanted to kind of be a part of that community as well. And we've loved it, like just meeting different people and getting book recommendations. Like, it's just been a really great experience. And then we decided in the summertime also that we were going to pursue like the bookmarks as something that we wanted to create and to turn them into something that was more professional and wanting to share them with everybody else.
Okay, we're going to talk about the bookmarks next, except I have one other question about the Instagram account. Who usually posts, or do you all take turns? Is there like a scheduled kind of thing to keep it vibrant and everything for everybody?
So actually, yes, we do have a schedule that we follow. Beth, she's been amazing. She's taken the lead on our social media account, but we all take turns getting posts ready. And for a while, I was doing a fair bit of the writing for some of the books, particularly the ones that we did as a book club. But we all take turns because we wanted people to see, like, as we said earlier, our different reading styles, like that there would be certain books that Deanna would read that I might not read. And we wanted those represented so that we could have a broader group of people that we connect with. So it's been really great. And it's one of those things where we're always trying to be like, okay, what's on the agenda for this week? Or what are we, kind of have a week at a glance or a month at a glance plan.
Yeah. And also too, I think we all love writing as well. And so it's nice to be able to get back to doing some writing, and it's a little bit forced, right? But now that there's a schedule, it's like, just like reading, now we have our posts that we have to do. And it's nice to be able to sort of organize our thoughts and put it out there and improve as we go.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's talk about your bookmarks, because this is a really special project. And one of the things when Shauna and I started doing the podcast, okay, we fly by the seat of our pants, and I can't say that we do a good job, but we kind of have fun. But then you started talking about your bookmarks, and I purchased 5 of them right off the bat. Yay. And I love them. So I want you to talk about what it is, how it came to be, and talk about your bookmarks. This is really exciting.
So our bookmarks came out of our book club. So as we were saying, there's a little feedback there. As we were saying, at the beginning of our book club, you'd look at the back of the book, you'd look to those questions at the back of the book, and they're very specific. And sometimes they just felt a little too directed, and we wanted something, if we're going to maintain a book club over time, we wanted questions that would kind of go over each book and be able to be used over and over and over again. So we could internalize the questions and get better at them. And so at the beginning, we tried just doing it a little bit more open, and how'd you like the book? And sometimes conversations could fall flat. They could be better than others, depending on the book, depending on how much people like the book. And so slowly we decided we wanted to come up with some questions. And I felt like in a book club, having some of those questions was good, because then we had them on scraps of paper and we had them tucked in our book. And then when I was reading, then I start flagging more. Like the first book club, I don't think I came with flags. I just kind of had some stuff underlined. And then when you go to try to look for that quote that you want to tell everybody, you're trying to flip through the pages. So slowly, I think with our questions, we were kind of flagging to know what questions we wanted to talk about in the passages, so you could write little notes on them. So I think it just helped us evolve as a book club, and our book clubs would go on for hours, sometimes, really long, like 5 hours or something. So it's kind of insane, but that was the fun. And I think we've honed it in over time. And I think those questions are what we bring today, right, in the bookmark.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about how many bookmarks, a little bit more about the actual business that you've created already.
Okay, so we have a line of bookmarks. So the one, we have a set of 5 of them. It's called Book Banter. And that one we would say is for literary fiction or just general fiction. So there's various categories like Scenes That Stick, Beautiful Words is a category, Hook, Line, and Stinker. So just fun things to talk about, open-ended questions that we can use that can fit with any book. So we made sure that we felt like they could kind of cross books as we went. And then that's the one we use in our book club. And then from there, Kate and I, we have kids, little kids, and we read to them every night. We do read alouds every night at bedtime. And our kids saw us making these other bookmarks and kind of were jealous of our bookmarks and said, Mommy, can you make us bookmarks? And so we started thinking about making bookmarks for our kids and what kind of questions we would ask them. And we didn't want it to feel like homework. We wanted it to be fun. So we decided to make them very character driven, like who would be your best friend, or who drives you crazy, right? Like fun questions to get them talking. And then we would use them at bedtime and talk with our kids about our books. And it's been fun. So that's one of our other lines. And then Kate, do you want to talk about the other 2?
Sure. So then we also have a beach banter bookmark that we've been using, which is for some of our kind of, lighter romantic reads that you would get. And again, like what Deanna said, the categories for these, they kind of elicit lively conversation and some laughter when you're talking about it. But we have categories like friends, foes, and lovers, making waves, written in the sand. So we've kind of tried to keep with some of the same ideas that are in our literary fiction, but perhaps addressing those questions in a lighter way, because those books tend to address the issues in a lighter way too. So we wanted it to be fun and engaging for people. And then we also have a professional book banter bookmark that we've used that would be used for professional teams or people who love to read those business books, the books that motivate you, kind of the personal success or self-help books. And these ones are tailored to having questions about finding your inspiration, your idea shift, your vision and your clarity of vision, that kind of thing. And actually Deanna's husband has been using this one. So maybe Deanna will want to talk about that a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, my husband, he works as a CEO of a business accelerator, so to help businesses grow, so young entrepreneurs. So I was talking to him about, I'd like to create a professional bookmark. So we talked through some of the questions and how we get to those entrepreneurial spirit type questions, right? How do you accelerate your growth? And even talking about financial goals. So we talked through those questions as a group, as beautiful words. And then also I was going back and forth with my husband a little bit. And then he's been trying this one out in his book club because he has a book club at work. And he's been using our bookmark with his professional books.
Yeah, Shauna and I actually, well, Shauna more than I do, but we both read professional literature like that. So that's why I actually picked up that bookmark as well, because I thought it really helps. And I've had my management team read but we've done some books together. And I think it really helps draw out more from those readings by having something like that. It's a great tool. Absolutely.
Well, and that's one of the things too that we were thinking about, just in terms of sometimes like when you have a professional book club that gets together, people like the questions, or people might not even come prepared with questions or ideas, but if everybody had a copy of the bookmark, then they get thinking about it. And it's the same way that Deanna said, like when you have it there, you start paying attention, like you just start reading a little bit differently and you start noticing those things, and you might come prepared and with flags and ready to talk about those issues. And we just feel like that really makes for better conversation. And even if you're not in a book club, we found that like my mom isn't in a book club and she loves the bookmark, and she goes, as I'm reading, I look through the questions, and then when she's talking to somebody or she's recommending the book to someone, she even brings up some of those ideas that she said I probably wouldn't have thought of on my own, right? Most people recommend a book and just say, oh, I liked it, and then that's it. So these are just ways to get people thinking and reflecting and connecting with the book a little bit differently.
I completely agree, because there are things I read that Shauna's never going to read and vice versa. But I've used it even just, I haven't had it long, but I've even used it for that, because on the website, I could kind of see a few of the questions, and I've even thought of some of the books I've read in the context of the questions that you're asking. So again, I just think you all have done a spectacular job. But then the question is, when did you decide to turn it into a business? And I know that some of the proceeds go to a special cause, and I wondered if that was specific or special to somebody in the group or to all of you, if you want to talk about that a little bit.
So we just into a business because we thought it's something that people would like. So we wanted to get it out there in the hands of other readers. We wanted to enhance more book clubs, enhance other people's reading experience. So we did think of it as a business, but we also thought we'd like to give back. And I think, being educators, it's something that's dear to our heart, is obviously literacy. So we thought we would like to give back some of our proceeds to support people that need help with literacy. So we reached out to the Windsor-Essex Community Foundation in our town and in our city, and we work with them to give 10% back of our proceeds. So hopefully that will build literacy programming in our city. And as we get more sales, obviously we'll have more to contribute.
Yeah. And so my last question though is, are you going to continue to create bookmarks and have like new questions and continue to grow this? Because I'm hoping that you will, because I would buy them.
We do have some other ones in the works.
Good. Good. Well, and Shauna, do you have any questions for them? Anything?
Could you guys share the website that you're selling them on in your social media tags so that people could start following you?
Sure. You want us to share it with you, or?
Oh, you could go ahead and just say it in the video.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Yeah, it's wearebeautifulwords.ca, and Instagram is at wearebeautifulwords. And
how much do your bookmarks cost, and how do they do the proceeds go to anything, or do they help you just print the bookmarks?
So they're $6.19 Canadian plus tax. 10% of the proceeds go to the Windsor-Essex Community Foundation. And then they go to creating them, and we work as a business too. So hopefully at one point make a profit off them.
Yeah. And I have to say too, Shauna and I live in Michigan, and I ordered them as soon as you posted on your Instagram page. I went and ordered mine, and I got them. And I don't think it took, I hate to say this, but Canada Post sometimes takes a long time to get things here. No shade on, Canada Post, but they do. But I got it really, really fast. So any of you who are listening, if you live in the United States, don't stress about that. I ordered 5, got them really, really quickly, because I think, especially with the holidays coming up or somebody's birthday, anybody who's a reader, but even as Kate said, her mother, who's a reader, isn't in the book club, but still gets something out of those bookmarks. And I also should mention, they're really, really good quality. So if you use them literally as bookmarks, they're going to last a long time as well. So I just want to say congratulations on your new business, I think it's awesome that you have this great book group with all of you, and you're reading amazing things, and you're sharing with your community and all the wonderful things you're doing. Is there anything else you want to add before we say good evening?
Thank you for having us.
Well, it's funny because, it's interesting that you said we were one of the first ones that you sort of connected with on Instagram, because it is funny to me how some accounts sort of stand out, and yours, I'm a visual person, and yours has always stood out visually to me. And I don't know if it's because it's got that yellow background or whatever, but you guys have always stood out. So I just really I love your reviews. I love following you all, and I really look forward to someday making it across the border when it reopens. And I'd love to have coffee with you guys somewhere. So I hope that we can make that happen in 21.
Oh, that would be amazing.
We would love that too. Maybe we can even read a book beforehand and meet up and discuss it.
That'd be fun. I would really love that. That would be a lot of fun. So anyway, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll make sure we put all the information in we'll tag everything down below. Shauna takes care of all of that. But thanks again, Deanna and Kate, for joining us from We Are Beautiful Words. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shauna and Rebecca.
And thank you to our followers. So don't forget to subscribe. Our Instagram is Canada Reads American Style, and their Instagram is We Are Beautiful Words. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Otherwise, have a good night.